Hello, this is Dana, and welcome to my first of two tutorials for Microsoft Access. Today I'm going to introduce you to Access, and tomorrow I'll take you on a journey of the most powerful thing, the thing that people use most often in Access, and that's the querying aspect of this particular tool. All right, so what is Microsoft Access? It is a desktop management system. So it is meant for a small group of users to store information just to better help you maybe manage your department or things within your company. It is not a client server, so it does not match larger databases such as Oracle, SAP. It's not supposed to replace any of those. It's just a little desktop management system trying to replace you having 17 spreadsheets to basically try to pull from and that sort of thing. So a lot of people do their reporting out of Excel, and I love Excel. So if you're doing pivot tables and you're charting, and that works for you, that's great. But this actually has a querying tool built in and a reporting tool. All right, so one of the benefits of using Microsoft Access is you can store the information directly in here in what are known as tables, and these are going to act like Excel tables. If you like Excel, you'll love your table views and your query views because these actually look and act just like an Excel table would. All right, but what you can also do is you can link to your data. So you can keep it where it is, and you can use the querying and reporting tool to just pull information and answer those business questions without actually pulling it into Microsoft Access itself. So I'm linking right here to an Excel spreadsheet, pulls in my information, and I have all that information that I can now query those, records, however many records you actually want to pull in. So I have used it in past jobs to basically link to information that is not stored in Access. So I linked it before to an Oracle database via ODBC to do mass cleanups of data in that database so we could web enable it at the time. All right, so you can link and change information. I also created reports using that ODBC connection as well. You can also, of course, link to information that's in another Access database or in the larger six-figure kind of database system, a SQL Server system, or from Azure if you're using that as well. So the Microsoft applications that are client servers, you could use this as a client for those particular tools. All right, so that's Access's possibility is that you can link to your data, you can store your data, you can store up to 2 gigs in this database system, and multiple users can be using the system at the same time, and that would be a benefit over Excel as well. All right, so I have a table open here, and again, if you're working with tables, very similar to Excel and how you sort and filter when you're in a table. But the benefit of this versus using maybe multiple spreadsheets is that it is a relational management system. And if you order from Amazon, you can relate to what I'm going to tell you. What a relational database management system is it stores related information in separate tables, and they link together with these things called keys. So when you log on to Amazon with your little ID, you are a customer that's buying from them. So you would be stored in the customer's table. What you're buying are products. Those are pulling from the products table. And then what combines them is the order itself. And you're probably familiar with as you throw stuff in the cart and you hit checkout, you're going to be listed all of the different shipping addresses you could possibly ship to that you've shipped to before because those are linked to you, your customer ID. Same way, once you choose that, they're going to ask you how you want to pay. And most of us have more than one form of payment because it's a one-to-many relationship. So all that information is stored in different tables, but they're related together by your customer ID, and you're buying products, and that's all related together. So you have these things called keys, and that's how relational database management systems work. So I have a supplier ID right here. That would be a link to the suppliers here. So Woodstock should only be listed one time over here because they are a supplier and that is their information. However, they are supplying us with multiple products that we store in inventory for them. All right, so if I would filter, we could see how many products. So I'm going to go ahead and filter for Woodstock and say, oh, we have 13 different products that we stock from that particular vendor itself. All right, so you can answer your business questions very much the same way, just using filters of tables. But because your information is stored in different tables and related together, what you normally do is you create a query. So you can create queries to ask your questions and then save those questions so that you can rerun them. So right here, I have a query find supplier, and if I go ahead and type Woodstock, it'll pull back those same 13 products. Now, if I rerun this particular tool, so I'm going to go ahead and just refresh it and rerun it. I'll run it for Pug this time, and now it's pulling back that we have 17 from that particular supplier. All right, so a query is just a filter that you save and give a name, and you run over and over and over again. Now, when you save a query, you do not save these answers. These answers are pulling directly from the underlying table. When you save a query, you're actually saving this. This is the question. So my question is, from this particular table, which is called inventory, which we just had open, these are the columns that I want to see. And then I do have some criteria that was asking me what supplier I wanted to see. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up another question, which basically shows me all 51 products that I had in my inventory, and just 3 of those fields. So if I came over here, I could ask the question. I could say, you know, how many basically products is each supplier supplying from the various different countries? So I could flip-flop this around a little bit, and I could total it, and I could group by supplier and then by origin and count how many products. So I'll just run that question, and there's my new answer. So my new answer is that these particular suppliers, and let's just go and pick on Woodstock again, they provide us 7 things from China, 1 from Mexico, and 5 from the USA. All right, if I didn't really care where they were coming from, I could get rid of that. Asking a different question, going to get a different answer. There's those 13 products that they provide us with. All right, the great thing about this particular utility is you don't have to know the language behind it because it's writing that SQL for you. So if I go to SQL view, there it is, but I don't have to know SQL to be able to use Microsoft Access. All right, so tables are where you store your data, queries are how you get it out. If you want a nice pretty output of your data, you could always run a report. So you could create a report that would show your information in a little better format. Don't love this report that comes with my canned practice files. And forms are your user-friendly way to get the information in. So this is actually considered your front end. This is your back end. But a database, I've created all sorts of databases for various different clients, everything from keeping training history and figuring out what classes people still need to take, to pricing particular items based on every single element that goes into that and pricing it out, to passports, you know, tracking passports, to you name it. Anything that you possibly could want to store. I think my most recent database was being able to pull from a much larger system and randomly select items to be audited. And then when they were being audited, tracking those so they could see how suppliers were doing because they wanted it in all in one spot and they wanted to do it in a little more efficient way than they had been doing it in the past. All right, so Microsoft Access, wonderful, wonderful database tool. The reason people don't use it as much as they should, I think it's pretty undervalued. It's just the learning curve's a little steeper. You're not going to learn Access in a 5-minute tutorial. It'll take a little bit longer, but it's fabulous and I absolutely love it. Have a great day, y'all.